A forgotten hallmark of the American dream is simply to be able to build, create, and repair your own stuff. And frankly, that is the root of where all of my personal success comes from, or at least the thing that allows me the ability to make my way in life and go somewhere. More specifically, this motorcycle I built. I walked into a car body shop and sitting dusty in the corner was this sad, broken Ducati. I asked them a story about it and they said that the owner had crashed it and it's been sitting here for years. Well, I bought it for a few $100s and then spent some time fixing it up and making this beautiful cafe racer. But that is because I have the ability and right to take my personal property and create and build and make something that still fits with motor vehicle laws and be able to enjoy it. So I was able to have an incredible motorcycle very cheaply. Of course, your time is worth money, and I think a lot of young people need to realize that better, especially if they're considering going into business. But this is an unbelievable right and liberty that we all have in the United States of America that we can't take for granted because it's under attack. Plain and simple. The right to repair is something we talk about, and it's starting to come up for farmers. I believe it was John Deere tractors that tried to make it where you have the inability to work on your tractors. You got to take it to the dealership, basically, which is crap, okay? For anybody that works with their hands, especially farmers and getting things done, stuff breaks, and you need to fix it there. Maybe there's something that you need to take, and maybe if you need to do an engine rebuild or something, you need to go to a machine shop, fine. But farmers need to fix their stuff. So when something like that happens, what's actually happening is our consumer culture, through a company that's trying to continually to be profitable and have some kind of power for the future, is they're trying to take away that power, that personal liberty, and that right from individuals, in that circumstance, farmers. We're going to dive into a little deeper. I also saw something that relates to this thread with BMW of recent. Brand new BMW cars were installed to have seat heaters and other accessories and options. However, the company was making you pay a subscription service. You had to pay them monthly just to be able to use the actual physical features of the car you own. You see where this is going? It's getting into a more scary point. The same thing starts to exist very quickly and easily with electronics, computers, phones, etc. But let's talk about the circumstance of paying for a subscription in a car. Well, why? Well, the why is simple. The company wants to make more power, and they're hoping you're stupid enough and go along with it because it's some harebrained idea they came up with in a boardroom. The root problem with this is, though, the ability to repair your own things, or even just use the things you own, comes down to personal property. We found the root. We have shoveled down to the bottom. That's the real problem here. The actual argument of should you be able to build, repair, or work on your own things is not what is at stake. What is at stake is personal property. Well, I can tell you this. As an American, and I think surely any other American out there that frankly isn't brainwashed or has no idea how life in the world works, personal property is important. For us to live, we require things. We require a house. We require transportation to go places. We require our own clothes. Comment below. Tell me all the other things we require. But if you don't have the ability to take care of your own things, and that's taken away from you, it's going to be a lot harder to move forward in life. So, we're going to come back to that in a second. Got a whole list of it, but I want to take this moment, especially for young people out there, how important it is for you to have your own tools. How important it is for you to realize you can fix things. Or at least how to assess a situation, whether it's a machine like a sports car, or a motorcycle, or your home. How to assess it, figure out what's wrong, troubleshoot that. And that's just basic thinking. We have videos, we have the internet, we have YouTube to be able to learn these things. But it's also important for you to realize where your talent, or shall we say experience level, stops. And where you may need to seek help. I can fix and build just about anything at this point in time. And I can surely tell you, these motor vehicles would not be in this garage if I couldn't work on them. I can't afford to pay anybody to fix this crap. And the reason I've been able to have all these things is I can get something cheap that no one can work on anymore or doesn't want to, or they don't think there's parts, and I can fix it up myself. I can maintain it. I can take care of it. And if it needs parts that don't exist, I can make them. Or I can find something else out that works. So that's why I attribute so much of that success. And I remember buying my first good tools, not using my father's tools anymore, when I was just into college. And my grandfather actually went with me and went to a Sears, and I picked out that same black toolbox you may be able to see sitting there, made out of metal, because I want it to last, wrinkle painted. And I got the basics I need, the basic screwdrivers, the basic wrenches, my basic Allen wrenches, my basic pinchy and grabby tools, and then the smart tools, okay? I still have them. In fact, when I was mentoring students and doing Genius Garage, they used them for years. And of recent, I bought a lot of new tools. I wanted to refresh, I wanted to get everything, when I had my tools here at home, I wanted everything to be perfect. Not at the shop, but here at home, just my tools. So I bought a lot of new things. And what I choose to do is, there was a young man I'd been mentoring for some time, really brilliant kid, just going off to college now, helped him with various STEM and engineering projects and design projects, and helping him with the things that got him into college in his direction. And he's a good kid with a good heart. In fact, his parents immigrated to America, legally I might add, so he's a first-generation American, and I can tell that the family is very happy and respectful and appreciative of rights, liberties, and people helping him out. So I gave this young man all my own tools. And I said, never sell them. These are good tools. Here's all the things I was able to do with my life with these tools, and now they're yours. And I know that that is planting a seed, not only to physically help him make his way in the world and make it better. Maybe he fixes his car instead of being stranded. Maybe he fixes his home one day and makes his wife happy. He'll be able to do those things, but it plants a seed that's very important. But going beyond that, what happened to that seed? When was it that shop class was taken out of schools? Okay, now first of all, for anybody young watching, you're going to be, oh, he sounds like a boomer. Shut up, okay? Just, can we get past worrying about various generations and thinking we're all different? We're not, okay? Life changes, everybody's life is different, but that doesn't mean we have to pigeonhole people for being different. This is America, okay? We're all trying to get somewhere. Anyway, back to sounding like a boomer. What happened to shop class? For that matter, what happened to home ec or home economics? Both of those things are very important. Well, I can tell you what happened. College, 4 years degrees, were pushed like crazy because there was more money in it. More money in it for schools, places, etc. And we had a generation, which was the boomer generation, that wanted everybody to go to college no matter what. But shop class fell out. Why? Because they're like, oh, that's blue collar. Why are we teaching these kids to be blue collar? Let's send them to college prep. They don't need to use a bandsaw. They don't need to be able to make toys out of wood. They don't need to be able to do plumbing or wiring. Well, all the people that thought that are idiots. They're idiots. We all still need to be able to do all these things, or at least understand what goes into working on our house, plumbing, electricity, a car, etc., so that if in fact you do pay somebody for their service to repair your private property, you'll be able to know what's going on and you'll be less likely to get screwed, etc. Or you may discover you have a talent and really enjoy that and go into the trades and create and build and do. Mike Rowe, for instance, go watch all his stuff. We sorely lost the trades, and they're very needed, very well needed. In fact, for the last decade, I have done the Genius Garage Educational Programs, which is a 501c3 nonprofit for college engineering students, launching amazing jobs. You know how it works at the core? Basically, I do all the stuff that college prep and school doesn't do anymore. They actually have to work on real things for the real world. That's difficult. Have accountability, have responsibility, think, learn, and do what they can't find in their tech books, and yes, work with their hands and hand tools and make something. And school doesn't do that. And that's actually what industry needs. And I'm not even talking blue-collar jobs. I'm talking white-collar jobs in engineering. White-collar jobs are sick and tired of kids that just be able to know how to do a SolidWorks type program or solid modeling. Oh, I can run coefficient fluid dynamic, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Like, they can run simulations. They can do the math. They can use the computer program, but they can't engineer, build, or fix their way out of a wet paper bag. And they make crummy engineers because of it, and the industry is hurting. Okay, let's bring it back. The right to repair and private property. Ooh, private property is under attack. Now, we do see political social movements the world over. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can comment below if you like. We see it happening where private property is under attack for ideological concepts, movements, right? But in this circumstance, let's bring it back and let's look at why private property and the right to repair is under attack. But first, I need a spicy espresso. Ah, yes. Why is it under attack? Consumerism. Let's look back 70 years. Let's say it's the 1950s and we're talking the automobile industry. Cars changed a lot every year. Styling, engines, drivetrains, safety, they changed a lot. The economics were different at the time. It was easier for a middle-class family to purchase things, so that kind of helped too. But we had great evolution of technology, style, etc., which helped people want to buy new things. But truthfully, nowadays, in the 2024, I'm gonna be honest, cars haven't changed a whole lot since the 1990s. In fact, the two everyday cars that I drive are from the very early 2000s, before CAN bus systems. They are simple, they're safe, they're well engineered, they do everything they need to do, and they have nothing they don't. And they're repairable for a long time, which is also good, actually, for environment and life in the world, because you don't have to keep destroying and making new cars, which takes a lot of energy and a lot of pollution side effects. But that's what I drive. Things aren't changing much anymore. You can't really inherently make them that much safer unless you completely change the nature of it. We really don't need all the electronics in the cars because we have cell phones that can change every year and you can get new ones. So why do we need that in our car? We already have something to interface and tell us where we're going or play our music or communicate. You don't actually need that in the car. Cars have great air conditioning and climate control and heated and cooled seats and safety and all that crap, right? So we're at a difficult time with industry, where industry is struggling. We're at a difficult time with industry, where industry is struggling to continue to stay profitable and grow. And in fact, in a way, I hate to say it can't exactly, but in a way it can't, because we've reached something of a peak with motor vehicles, etc. And that's good. So there's a fight that's happening. I, for one of the biggest car guys there is. I know a lot about cars. Look me up if you don't know. And I won't buy a new car. One, I don't like losing money. You're going to lose massive amounts to depreciation. And basically the crap breaks all the time and doesn't last because they want you to have to get a new one. They want it to go through the life cycles. Well, I don't like that, one, just because of my own personal life. I need to stretch a dollar as far as I possibly can, especially when politicians ruin economics for everybody. But also, I can fix stuff. So my life is better because of that. Yes, my life is better because I have the right and liberty to repair stuff. Okay, let's move on. I think you guys are getting this. But there are other things that are under attack, and you're going to see it. Obviously, cars. You're going to see it with homes. Airplanes. Ooh. The Experimental Aircraft Association is an unbelievable and incredible thing, and part of the reason why civil aviation even exists at this point, from a lot of crappy things that happened relating to lawsuits and stuff going way back when. So if you care about the right to repair in the future and building your dreams, I hope you'll join the Experimental Aircraft Association. Even if you have a slight interest in airplanes, be part of that and support it. Because the EAA and the ability for us to build and design our own airplanes, literally as individuals, and fly them legally, gosh, is one of the most incredible liberties we have in the United States, and it can't go away. But watch that. I was even told the head of the FAA, which is Federal Aviation Administration, isn't even a pilot. That's rather scary, isn't it? That kind of smells like getting rid of shop class and home economics from school. And now we have a bunch of kids that can't fix their way out of a wet paper bag and don't know squat about a home. I think we need to bring those things back. And it'll be another talk for another time about that. But beyond that, even your watches. What if I can't even repair my watch, mechanical watch? What if I can't do that? I know not many people do that. I know not many people even wear watches much anymore. But phones and computers, we can fix them. But companies are making them so you can't, either through programming or just how they're constructed. Do we want that? Do we have much of a choice? How can we combat that? That's going to be a more difficult battle, isn't it? But that's a scary thing too. The other thing is, I'll give you an example. Firearms. If you are obviously a firearm collector, you're just a sportsman, maybe you like shooting sporting clays or target practice, or maybe you're an Olympic biathlon athlete. And you need to repair your firearm or air gun. Well, you should be able to do that. But let's think about what entities out there, whether it's cars, airplanes, motorcycles, homes, computers, firearms, doesn't matter. Whatever you may own, lawnmower. What entities don't like it if you can fix it? Insurance companies? Industry that makes new ones? Planned obsolescence? The government? Yeah. Oh. What kind of politicians don't want you to be able to have that personal liberty or power. It's a fascinating thing about the government that I realized years ago. I tell you what, name me below in the comments what new rights any of us have been given that we didn't already have. What new liberties has the government given us? Because it sure seems to me all they do is take it away. I'm kind of tired of letting them do that. Because a right, that's God-given, or you just have that by being born. Your right to be a free person, a free man. A liberty, I think we need to think about that. And who's trying to take it away? Now, what's scary about that is modern politicians, it's real expensive to get in office, isn't it? People have to put in millions of dollars. Well, who puts in millions of dollars? Oh, I bet you it's things that could relate to people who own and run corporations and corporations. Somebody joked a long time ago that politicians should have sponsorship patches on them like a NASCAR driver, so you know where their loyalties lie. It's a scary thing, isn't it? Because if it's the companies and it's consumerism that doesn't like you having the right to repair your own personal property, then sadly and scarily enough, it's our political representatives that are supposed to represent us as people that may slowly help take that away from us. Well, the only thing I can say is, F you, this is the hill that I will die on, literally and metaphorically, if need be. Also, lawyers, oh boy, yeah, lawyer jokes. Comment below with your best lawyer joke. I think this is an important message to bring up, and I think we need to understand that our right to repair our own stuff is very important. It's how many of us can get ahead in life, how we can use our talent, how we can use our minds and our hands to make something, to fix something, to enjoy something, to have sport, to help others, to help our community, or even invent something better for the future that the corporations and politicians surely never would. And I'll name you my Omega car. It's on my car channel over there, and I'm going to be talking about it here. But yes, I built a car because I started thinking, I'm like, hey, wait a minute, if let's say in the 50s and early 60s, we had the intelligence and power to set up a bunch of shell companies around the world to bring in titanium from Russia, which was our adversary, enough of it to build airplanes that can go over Mach 3 at a time, that we don't have the computing power that we do now, with unbelievable material sciences and intelligence and scheming abilities to do that. Don't you think maybe we have the ability now to actually build motor vehicles that are affordable and possibly actually not as nasty to the environment? They last longer and they'd be just generally good and cool for all, maybe fast, maybe fun, get better miles per gallon. I do. So I built one called the Omega car. Show it to you here now. And I was able to do that because I can work with my own two hands. But if I lived a life where I didn't think I could, or we allowed government or corporations or monetary interests to take away our liberties and rights, then I couldn't do that. And you know what? Last time I checked, I didn't see no politicians building any good cars for the future or knowing anything about it. I don't really see any corporations actually selling anything like that. So this rabbit hole goes really deep. And remember, it's our personal liberties and it's our rights that are I shouldn't say up for grabs, because screw them. We'll fight back. Yeah. There's a war out there, and they're trying to do it quietly. And things like, I believe it was John Deere, making it so you can't fix your own tractors, or BMW making it to where you have to pay a subscription for heated seats. Those are the canaries in the coal mines. It's already happening. It's time we fight back. Screw them! Okay, comment below. Got to subscribe, click the bell so YouTube will actually show you this stuff, and share it, share it, share it. Let's talk about this. I'm going to keep going, I'm going to keep swinging, and I'm standing up publicly. So if you can't, or you don't feel it's the right time, I can do it for us. But we're in this together so we can have a great future for our kids, and I'll even do a video coming up relating to what kind of tools you should have, and what does that help you do so you can get somewhere in life, even if idiots took away shop class and home ec. See you next time.